What's up guys, welcome back to today's video. 5 dieting tips that are gonna make your life so much easier in your calorie deficit. These are gonna be 5 things that I use with myself and my online coaching clients when we are trying to cut some body fat. They're not just gonna be your average basic everyday tips like just drink more water and eat more fruits and vegetables. They're gonna be things that maybe you didn't think of when it comes to fat loss. So this will be an interesting video, let's get into it. Number 1 is coffee or caffeine. Coffee is no magic fat burning elixir, even though I wish it was because I love coffee. The caffeine in coffee helps burn fat in a couple different ways. Number 1 is energy expenditure, the energy balance equation of calories in versus calories out. In order for fat loss to take place, the energy out must exceed the energy in. In other words, what we output needs to be more than what we eat. Caffeine is a simple way to increase our energy expenditure by increasing something called NEAT, which is non-exercise activity thermogenesis, which pretty much just means how much we are moving throughout the day, fidgeting, talking with your hands, walking up and down the stairs, doing laundry, etc. It's basically unintentional exercise. And the second way that coffee has been shown to help with fat loss is it's a pretty well-known appetite suppressant. So it can actually blunt hunger when you are in your calorie deficit. The second thing I want to talk about is sparkling water. There's actually a study that came out a couple years ago that talked about how sparkling water may actually increase your hunger. But there's more research on the subject of sparkling water actually helping you stay full in a calorie deficit and helping with appetite reduction. In both of these studies here, sparkling water was shown to increase feelings of satiety and fullness. Sparkling water gives your body the illusion that it's more full because of the bubbles and gas that it creates. This can be a real diet hack if you're looking to relieve some hunger pangs. However, if you're experiencing tons of hunger pangs, there's probably an underlying cause to that. You're probably either A, cutting calories too low, too fast, B, not eating enough fruits and vegetables, high fiber foods, or C, not eating enough protein, which I'll get into that later. The third hack that I want to get into is pre-logging your meals. If you have been just winging your meals, you may come to find that it's actually really challenging. It's hard to find foods and meals that hit your exact macronutrient and micronutrient needs. In the spur of the moment, it's really hard to find those kinds of food. What me and a lot of my clients do is we actually plan out our meals the night before. We'll actually track all of our meals in MyFitnessPal the night before, so that way we have a plan, a strategy to go off of the next day. Even if we don't follow that plan or strategy 100%, at least we have an idea of how we can hit our protein, our fiber, our caloric intake, all of the things that we're trying to hit. We have an idea of how we can hit them. So it's always good to have a plan. Pre-logging your meals the night before helps a lot. Also, good thing to mention here too, if you are someone who likes to eat out at restaurants on the weekends or weeknights or order takeout, this may be useful because if you know you're going to be eating out on Thursday nights because that's what you do, it may be useful to go check out the menu online, go pre-log your calories ahead of time so that way you can plan the rest of your day around it. We know that restaurant meals are going to be higher in calories, so it's good to plan the rest of your day around it to help you hit your protein, your fiber goals, your micronutrient goals, and cycle your calories around that larger meal. The fourth tip I have today is staying busy. We've all had those days where we are go from sun up till sundown. From the time we wake up to the time we hit the pillow, we are go. This is usually when people make the worst food choices. So I know you're like, why the hell is staying busy a good thing then? Well, a lot of people tend to be less hungry and think about food less when they're staying busy. That does not mean that you should not have a plan. You should still have a plan of attack on how you're going to hit your goals for the day, but staying busy is a good idea, especially when you're in a steep deficit and you know you're going to be very food focused. So this will help with those hunger pangs. It'll help you get your mind off of foods that you really want to eat, and just staying busy in general is just a good idea. If 2020 has taught us anything, it's that being home with not a lot to do and a pantry full of food is probably not the best thing for somebody who's trying to lose body fat. Staying busy, finding hobbies, finding things you're passionate about, getting into that flow state with your work It's going to help the time pass by. It's going to help you stick to your calorie deficit. It's going to make life so much easier for you. Number 5 is going to be eating a high protein breakfast. You might have thought I was going to say intermittent fasting, but for most people who don't have a positive relationship with food, intermittent fasting may not be the best choice. I'm not knocking it. I did it for several years, but for some people, eating a high protein breakfast, eating a large breakfast with lots of protein and a higher calorie breakfast in the morning time may be a better idea. And this is actually useful for a couple of different reasons. Number 1, protein keeps you full. We know that the satiety that you get from protein is unlike any of the other macronutrients. We also know that protein actually helps with nighttime snacking, which is interesting. This study came out here, which actually showed that people who eat a high protein breakfast are less likely to snack at nighttime. And we also know that protein can actually help with cravings. It can help you manage and reduce your cravings for foods that you don't necessarily need to include in your diet. So try it out. Be your own science experiment, because a lot of people are going to say, this works for me, this doesn't work for me. We have something called bioindividuality, which basically means that everyone is different. What works for you may not work for someone else. So make sure that you be your own science experiment. Try out different things. Make a plan. Stick with it. And just because something doesn't work for you for one day doesn't mean that it doesn't work for you ever. So make sure you stick with something for a considerable amount of time before you find out whether it works for you or not. If you're going to try intermittent fasting, try it for 4 weeks. If it doesn't work for you, try eating a big breakfast with high protein. Try different things out and see what works for you. If you don't like sparkling water, don't drink sparkling water. If you don't like coffee, don't drink coffee. Have green tea. I don't care. I really don't care what you do. But these tips should help. If they were helpful, please leave a like. Please leave a comment. Let me know which tip helped you out the most. Also, let me know whether you're coming from Instagram or from my email list, because it helps me kind of find out where people are coming from and watching the videos. If you stayed to the end, I love you. I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next video. Oh, and also do that subscribe-y thing. Love you.